I thank the representative of the Russian Federation. I now give the floor to the representative of Greece.
President, let me start by thanking Special Envoy Hans Grunberg and Under Secretary General Tom Fletcher for the informative briefings and the tireless efforts to promote peace and stability in Yemen. I would also like to welcome the presence here today of the Permanent Representative of Yemen. Mr. President, despite the relatively decline in Houthis attacks over the past month, the situation in Yemen in the region of the Red Sea remains critical and volatile. The grave humanitarian situation and political crisis remain jeopardized with increasingly negative consequences for the Yemeni people and the broader region. Allow me to make the following brief points. First, although we welcome the release of the Galaxy Leader crew as a positive step, we condemn in the strongest terms the recently arbitrary detentions by the Houthis of additional UN personnel in continuation of the deplorable trend of arbitrary detentions initiated by the group back in June. We deeply deplore that one recently detained member of the UN World Food Programme personnel lost his life while he was arbitrarily detained, and we express our sincere condolences to his family and the UN. The circumstances of his death must be thoroughly investigated. We call for the immediate and unconditional release of all diplomatic staff, UN and NGO personnel, and humanitarian workers who continue to be arbitrarily detained by the Houthis, and encourage this Council to relay a strong message in this respect. Secondly, all parties in the conflict must fully respect the obligations under international humanitarian law to authorize and facilitate the rapid, safe and unimpeded delivery of humanitarian aid. The safety and security of humanitarian workers must be protected in order to be able to deliver life-saving supplies, especially food and medicine. We also remain dedicated to the UN verification and inspection mechanism for Yemen, which has undertaken a colossal task of clearing much-needed shipment of goods and foodstuffs to address the population needs. Thirdly, the instability in the region of the Red Sea continues to raise deep concern. Unpredictability prevails as the peril of resurgence of Houthi aggressions against merchant ships is endangering the safety of a crucial global maritime trading route and a significant pathway for the provision of humanitarian assistance in this war-torn region. Greece is strongly committed to safeguarding freedom of navigation and maritime security in the region of the Red Sea. We continue to play a leading role in the European Union's naval operation Aspides, in full compliance with international law, and with respect to the defensive posture of the operation, working closely with the international community in protecting one of the world's most important maritime routes. Mr. President, the Council and the countries of the region must send a clear message of unity and commitment to the need for military de-escalation between the opposing sides of the Yemeni conflict, and especially the Houthis. In addition, this Council and the international community should exert their influence on all sides for the resumption of the peace process under UN auspices as the only viable path for stability and security in Yemen and the Red Sea region. This process must contain all the necessary guardrails and address the security concerns of neighboring states and major stakeholders. My country, Greece, reiterates its full support to the SRSG Hans Grunberg and his continuous and dedicated efforts to revitalize the peace dialogue in Yemen through an inclusive Yemeni-led and Yemeni-owned political process under the UN auspices. The substantial and equal participation of women in this process must also be guaranteed. Only through consistent mediation efforts and collective political engagement by all relevant stakeholders can a sustainable and lasting solution be achieved for Yemen. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Greece.